faster because anyways, we're gonna have a lot of working time for this one. Cool, so let's punish Gina. Okay, you can after this, okay, in the end of the summit. Yeah, I deserve to be punished, I'm sorry. Cool, so yeah, I'm going to be your fussy again. I hope you're not tired of me yet because we're gonna work until July. Cool, so yeah, wait. I cannot read my screen. Okay. Gina, it's off. It's fine. Everything's okay. So the content for this session is going to be mapping out the IR based on the scenarios the scenarios plan. So before this, you already know like the roughly like what is the situation in my entities and then what is the situation of other entities, and then we define the kind of routines and information that they would need with that you would need with your IR partners, and then understanding the questions that you need to answer in order for you to have a clarity about your IR mapping in the next period, including the LCs. Okay. So what are the process of IR? First thing is that to acknowledge your needs. First, yeah. So in this stage, you are able to, like, especially for COVID-19 situation, is that the university changes, because from what I understand is that even until now there are some entities who still doesn't know when university starts again, and then the borders information and then quarantine policies. Like for example, even if the borders are open, there are still countries who require all people coming from other country, when they enter, they need like 14 days of quarantine. So that is the acknowledgement needs that you need at the moment. And then the next one is to map out your collaborations. So defining the MOIs and KPIs to see what are the next steps, and in a standardized framework you will see later, and timeline that includes regular touch checkpoints and also actions, and then preparing your deal maker, like for example, why this entity should be partner with me, and also like as well as why you need to be a partner with them as well. And then the next one is to get diplomatic and proactive, so to gain trust and also defining the communication channels. So these are the process that we're going to go through in the session. So I think that if you finish the academy, you already seen this, but then I have a version for COVID-19. So for this one is that so the first one, this is the not affected by external context. And then we also have like a very weak previous collaboration. So like, wait, I'll explain to you, it will make sense later. Main historical partner, and as well as affected by external. So in this matrix, you can define first for the non-affected by external context and then affected by external context. You can see the factors or the list of the things that you need to take note on are university timelines, borders and travel restriction, COVID-19 cases and impact dashboard, and then the visa policies changes. And as for the past data is that for the very weak previous collaboration and then main historical partners, so where are you currently? So for example, if ISEC in Earth contributing 20%, more than 20% overall exchanges to ISEC in Pluto, then ISEC in Earth could be considered as one of the historical partner of ISEC and Pluto in the past. Okay, is this clear? I cannot see the chat, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, that is very helpful. Cool. So then this is the matrix and what we need to do for each one. So let's go through one by one. So the first one, start to explore and communicating and testing the ELSA to ELSA partnership is in the explore side. So make a research on the supply and demand on the entity. It could be like the SDGs and the profile persona, volumes of exchanges, and then start to communicate with your peer and decide on the routine that should be establishing during the coronavirus and also even the post-pandemic. So this is more like a planning on, say that later you already know these entities are going to be working with me based on what you just discover now. But you don't have to figure it out now. Like you can figure it out, like you'll figure this out in your planning. Gathering the information that is shared with the framework that could be updated with all the information needed, including the external trends factors about the two entities, like your entities and also your IR partners entities, your IR partners countries. Cool. So that's the first one. And then the second one, if you have a very weak collaboration before and then they are pretty much really affected by the external context, then this is something that you don't need to prioritize anymore, or you don't need to explore at all. So the first, my suggestion would be understanding why the previous collaboration didn't happen. Is it because of visa? Is it because the, like, in general, the EP is just not interested in like going to that country, or what? And then they prioritize any kind of attraction or focus from the LCs to this kind of collaboration. So I think if the LCs still want to do, then they still can. But then from the MC, maybe you can like limit your capacity or limit your support for this part of the IR, for this part of the matrix. And then maybe there is also like one IR that is affected by the external context, but they are your main historical partner. So in the past, you have a very high partnership with them, but then right at the moment, they are really affected by the external context. So in this case, keeping the communication or delaying the postpone of any IR initiative. So the first one is keeping the communications, of course, like to, as I give you the example before, IGV Malaysia and OGV Vietnam, they're keeping the communication between the entities to make sure that they are updated with each other. And then restructuring LC to LC partnership if that is possible, if it's also needed. And then analyzing the previous performance or mistakes and what one if and better if, like basically on what happened in the past. Yes, so far is everything clear? Please let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to ask,
Yes.
like there's no country like not totally affected and totally affected. So how can we divide the iron market?
So if you are asking if they are in the middle.
Yes, like not totally affected and totally affected.
Not totally affected, but affected.
Like I mean, like not totally. Like how can we divide? Because like the matrix is not affected and affected. So like if the country is in the middle, so how can we divide the iron?
That's a very good question. So I think if it's in the middle, or like if in the table it is partially affected or partially restricted. So my suggestion would be to see what are the things, what are the possibilities of you continuing the partnership. So which means like see what are the highest chance for you to move. Like is it the threat is going to be bigger if we keep the IR partnership, or the opportunities are bigger. So in my opinion, what you can do is to analyze what are the possibilities in the future, or you can also see from the internal situation, like what are the strategies that you have before. Is it possible for you to move forward, or is it not possible for you to move forward? So it also depends on like where the historical, or like how well you did the exchanges before. So then they can also support you on how you decide where to put these partners.
Okay, get it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, coming to the next one. So this is not affected by external context, and also they are like your main historical. So this is like the ultimate dreams for us at the moment. So yeah, communicate, prioritizing this partnership and improve the communication between LCVP. So to facilitate the kind of connections between ELSA to ELSA partnership to get them updated. So not only that you need to have an update in the MC level, but also trying to downscale this partnership to the LCVPs and make sure that they have a routine. And then to give insight to the marketing or sales to focus on specific promotion. For example, right now for, let's say, OGV in Earth, they usually targeting A kind of people, like group A kind of people. But then right now, because of the coronavirus, because maybe their parents lose their job or they lose their job themselves, then targeting this group of people is not going to be possible anymore. Then what they can do is to maybe target another people and giving insight, as in like it can also be, for example, if you have EPV, so you can also think of the strategies that can help the IGV to lower down the EPV. For example, you can ask for like, is there any possibilities for these people to like live in a host family or this kind of stuff. But then this kind of thing needs to be like needs two-way communications, and yeah. So for both of you to understand like which type of customer that you are still having, and that's still possible to go for an exchange. Okay, and then the next one is to create a common workspace where there is a shared data between both entities about the external context, especially for the COVID-19 impact updates. Because right now, from what I understand, is that for a country information, most of the websites or most of the resources are in the local language, which maybe you don't speak the language. Like for example, if I'm from Indonesia and I wanted to know about Vietnam, usually the informations are in Vietnamese, which I don't understand at the moment. So creating a common workspace can be very, very helpful for you to share the resources that you have, so that I understand as your IA partner what are the status or what are the current situations that is happening in your country, especially for the external ones. Okay, cool. So these are the thing. So now we're going to move into working space again. So go to the same link, ias.easy/worksheet apop-worksheet gv. I was probably drunk when I'm doing this. And then list down the current, let me just show you directly, give you a live update. So this is what's going to happen. So this is the list of IA partners that you have. So these are the entities that you mainly work with. So list down So then you can also put here like what are the the current contributions that you have. So based on what is happening before the pandemic, like how many realizations that you have before with this entity, and then also the contribution is already going to be what do you call this, formulated. So yeah, you don't have to fill this in, so you just fill this. And then after this you also can put here based on, like, let's say the border analysis. I can probably work with Isaac in Mongolia. Then what you can do is to put here the name of the entities, and then also why it might be a good option for you to work with. Okay, and then this is already formulated. So this is also the goal. So maybe in the future, like the ideal one. Okay, so you don't have to be sure about this one, but maybe if you have like a rough idea of how many realization you can expect to do with this entity, you can also put it here, so that you can understand like what kind of resources that you need to be allocating it, and also what kind of strategy that you can build based on the scenarios that you will create. So you can first put the goal in here, then then you will see the contributions.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
questions.
yeah.
I don't understand the scenario one, and then the meaning of the blue and the red dot.
Okay. So the blue and the red dot is like this is the contributions. So if the, like for example, Gazoprazorb and me is very high, right? Wait. There are two red dots. Okay. So yeah. So how many realizations that you have, and also like wait, where is the thing? Let me check first. This is a good yeah. Okay, wait. I don't remember how come I have two dots. What are
I think the blue dots is the current IR distribution, right?
yeah, yes,
But
I
the
think
red
so.
dots is
Probably the wait, how come
is
I
it the goal? Is it the goal for the future that we will put all of the entity we have for the currents into the goal
let
for
me check
2021?
this. The goal is 90. Yeah, I need to also change this probably. So then if I put like 20. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay, now I remember.
Got it.
Yeah, so contribution and also this. I'm sorry.
What if
I will.
we want to put another, for example, what if we want to put another IR in ideal distributions?
Mm, that is a good question. So I think what you can do is to probably add more row. Oh, you mean if you want to have a new one, is it?
Yeah. For example, I want to work with Isaac in March, then we just put there as the new entity, right?
I didn't think of this actually. That is a good question. So, but I think my suggestion is to put first the entities like the current IR distribution and also the ideal one. So I will figure out the the data and also the graphics so that we can see like better how we can use the data. Is that okay? That's a very good input though.
Okay.
I didn't think of that. You must know Agita. Yes. Okay, is that okay? Cool. So then the next thing that we need to look into is the metrics. So categorize the entities that you put here based on the category. So entities that you want to explore, entities that you want to focus on, and then entities that you would like to deprioritize, and then entities that you want to keep. As in, like you still need to, like you know that they are going to be still potential. Um, yeah, but at the same time you also need to like improve if there is any other strategies that you can work on, especially with this current situation. Okay, and then the next one is the action that you need to take. So you put here the list of entities, and then the next one is to the actions that you need to take. So this can be like a very ideal one, because of course, like if you want to like say do something with your IR partners, it has to be like agreed within each other. But then what you can do here is to just put the ideal or the expectations that you need to have with them. Because let's say for if you want to explore like entity A, then I need to understand that these are the say the informations that I need, or these are the kind of routine that I am expecting from this entity. Is it okay? And then additional comments is just like reminder or any notes that you need to take note on.
Okay, got it.
Cool. Okay, so let's take first. So copy these three tabs to your entity spreadsheet, and then we can have around, let's put 10 minutes first, and then if you need more time, we can put more time. Okay. Cool. Before that, any question?
Yeah, Gina, I have one.
Uh-huh.
So, if you could go to the previous tab about the IR per scenario.
Mm-hmm. This one?
IR per scenario. IR per scenario.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah. Now over here, you've mentioned ideal IR distribution for 2020-21.
mhm.
So, are you supposed to randomly assign the percentage of approvals or realizations that we want to do with a particular entity after the border analysis?
So my suggestion is to put like I not ideal, but it's like the best case, or you can also put the worst case if you want. But say like because this is where you can define like what will be your strategy with this entity, you know, based on the goal that you are putting into, based on
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Okay, but then I like right now because I don't have a lot of understanding of the external scenarios or the timeline of that entity. Then how should I assign the goals just on basis of water analysis?
Then I think if you don't have the goal or if you don't want to put any distributions, I think that's okay for now. Like you don't have to figure it out at the moment. So if you want to leave it blank, you can also do that. So then in the planning, you can already start filling in after you know that okay, this entity is going to be continuing or not. After you
Okay,
understand the situation, yeah. So that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
you don't have to figure out everything at the moment. So this is just like for you to understand first.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you can, if you have like a lot of scenarios, you can duplicate the scenarios. Yeah, cool.
Can I confirm again? The scenario will be the thing that in the MC planning, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yes, we're gonna use back the all the resources. Well, let me give you a song.
My favorite ex. You were my best nights and worst fights and deepest breaths. You were my gold rush to cold touch favorite ex. And all of the others cancel out.
Is everyone done now? What is everyone's progress? Okay, Shehan finally done. Not completely done, but got a way forward. Okay, that's enough for me. Not complete, but we can do it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think if there is anyone who wants to share, I think it will be very useful for me as well as for others on how was the exercise for you. Like, what did you realize here? And then also, if there's any like anything that you would want to see in the future, for especially for IR.
Okay, so can I go?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So like while doing this, I actually, had a transition research as well on what other entity think about TISIC in Nepal and what they, how are they, like, do they want to or not, those kind of things. So with that, it really helped me to identify me what are the current scenario, and what possibilities that I can explore in future, and also give me this contribution thing, also gave me a brain strike that yes, we need to really work on this, and it's not always okay to be scattered, so now really need to work on this.
Nice. Yes, I hope that I think Digi shared a lot with me, and like he was asking me a lot of stuff like, Gina, how can I make sure my IR is ready, this kind of stuff. So I
Yeah,
think
so
you
really
can,
working on this.
yes. So yeah, so I hope that this also helps you to kind of like put them into places on which entity you can work with and stuff. Anyone else wants to share? Or what they think, or what will be the way forward, if you also want to share your way forwards. Going to nag most of you, OGU peeps. Yeah, I think they can also expect you. Yeah, I hope more people can come to Nepal because it's such a beautiful country. And yeah. Hey, what is this? Okay, anyone else wants to share like what they think about the exercise, or was it hard for you to define? Or yeah, I mean it's hard for everyone to define anyway. But yeah, did it give you clarity? At least I hope. Hey, why is everyone so quiet? Okay, nice. Okay, cool. So I think yeah, that will be it for now. So am I early, or am I to be honest, I have problem with reading calendars. So they should be ending in 15 minutes. Cool. So just I just have one more message for you. So at the moment, I think that it is really okay for you to be lost, or for you to not knowing things, because at the same time, like no one knows what's gonna happen. Even I don't know like what is the SMD gonna look like which entity who are going to work with who. Because as regional manager, it is also very important for me to understand like who can I support, um, who can I support, and which entity should we focus on, and which entity can be like the potential key players and this kind of stuff. So these were the BAU that I did last time, but right now at the moment, with all of the changes and everything, it's also very hard for me to catch up with every informations. So I think after this, it would be really nice if we can also like update each other, or like if one entity is asking for like context and everything, it would be great if we can like share with each other on what kind of information that is going to be can be useful for others to use. Yeah, because it's not like a IR like not only entity to entity, but it's mostly like how we are working as a GV, as a regional. So yeah, I think I'm very happy that to know it is helpful. So if there's anything else that you would like to know, or things like that, but I already put down the feedback, or the things that to add on from the formula. So I will see what I can do to improve it. So thank you so much for that. And also you have now